welcome to another episode of Acoustics Unfiltered. I am your host, Asabi Hauer.
I'm Mike.
And we have the wonderful and beautiful Siobhan.
Hey.
Before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Well done. Excellent work.
I'm getting there. I always forget that part. I'm just like, yeah, welcome to the podcast. La, 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 la.
We edit in post, darling. It's fine.
Let's get into it, Siobhan. Your hair finally.
Yes, finally.
So after years, decades, finally got hair. We weren't sure if
It's
it's
really
going to turn
not
out.
even years. It's so extra.
He is all the time.
Because she's bougetto. See, I said new
A
word.
little bit bougie, a little bit bougie, and a little bit ghetto. Well done for pronouncing
Well, thank you,
it right.
thank you.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to.
I wasn't sure there.
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
Well
So because of that, we weren't sure. But anyway, we got you on. We got you on. So I guess we should probably start with what would you describe? Let's start with your music first of all, and then we'll move on. So for those that don't know your wonderful work, what would you describe your genre as, if it can be described?
Ooh, that's a good one there. If it can be described, I'd say predominantly neo soul R&B.
Ooh.
I do coin myself the neon soul because I am
Ooh.
very colourful, yeah.
Put N on the end. Go on.
Neon, yes.
Yeah. Right.
And I do coin myself that because I like to do everything. I don't like to put myself in a box. So
Nice.
I predominantly write R&B, neo soul.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll go into jazz, into the jazz section, mix it
Yes,
in a little
yes,
bit
yes.
of Erica Badu style.
Ooh.
And then sometimes I'll do indie. So sometimes I like indie songs. I like Alanis Morissette. I like people like that, Joss Stone.
Lovely.
Yeah. So sometimes I like to really touch on that side as well.
I'm not sure that genre can be contained just in neon soul.
Well, that's why I think I say neon soul because neon is colours, and I do believe.
Well, you're one of those power colour people, are you?
Colour people? What do you mean?
Colour power. Oh, purple is the power colour. And blue
Well,
these
purple is
days.
my favourite colour,
Okay.
and since a child, I never knew. And then it is obviously, as they say, one of the most powerful colours in
Apparently,
the
yeah.
cosmos. I am very much. It's more about vibrations for me
Oh,
and
is it?
frequency. So yeah. So if I play a song,
Yeah.
and in the first 15, 20 seconds I don't hear a melody, I won't write to the song.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's a
Wow.
spiritual thing. Yeah. I have to
Okay.
feel. If I don't feel, even if I say nonsense,
Yeah.
and I say a bunch of nonsense words,
Yeah.
I have to feel
Mm.
because the melody
Yeah.
gives me the feeling, and
Yeah.
then that gives me the concept. It's weird to explain. Like,
No, I get you.
I-
Actually.
do you know what I mean? Then that gives me the
Yeah, yeah,
concept.
yeah.
However, that makes me feel.
I get you in a way because I'm the same, but obviously I can't sing. But just get it out there early doors. But
Disclosure.
but in terms of listening to a song, so if I hear a song, it doesn't matter what genre it is,
Right.
in the first 10, 15 seconds, 20 maybe max, and I don't feel it, I won't listen to it.
Do you know why? Because it's simply the frequencies have
yeah.
not resonated
Maybe
with
that's
your
what it is.
frequencies. It's literally that.
So, maybe, yeah, it must be.
It's literally that. Frequencies have not resonated.
Yeah.
That's like some people will literally feel like they're gonna be ill if they hear chalkboard scratching.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
could listen to that. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. But something in their frequencies, it hits them in a type of
Absolutely.
way. Do you know what I mean?
But it's in a way that I miss out on some songs because some songs, that song's crap. And then when I get to if I hear it again, maybe 5-10 years later, but I hear it from the middle part, what song is that? And I really like it, and then I realize it's a song that I kind of discarded years ago because I didn't like the intro, so I kind of miss out on some good tracks. But
I'll give you a joke though. You've done that with women too, just so you know.
no, I haven't. Oh, it's getting personal. No.
I'm just saying.
No,
And let me tell you why.
Oh,
No,
oh.
she said, oh, she said,
Give me one of those, yeah?
mm,
One of those.
mm.
All right, let me roll up my sleeves that I don't have. If it's going to be like that. Let me just
Let me
tell
brush
you.
off the shoulders.
Let me just tell you. I check very carefully. I look at mental capacity first. And that stuff.
I like that.
And it's not, I might not seem that way, but I do. I check people very carefully. I watch body language, watch everything, but I pretend like I don't.
The reason why I say that is you've not seen the meme where it's like, I'm the track that you skipped and then later realised was fire.
No, I've
That's why I said that. I've seen that. Do you know what
I
I'm saying?
do my due diligence.
But as you said I do my due diligence.
I do my due diligence, man.
Good.
I'm a very analytical person, so
Good.
there's nobody I've missed.
That's good.
There's nobody I've missed. Anybody
I
come
went
on this
back
show and tell me
through
I've
that.
missed
The
it?
way he felt that shot though.
Wait, he came into his chest and said,
No, because she's putting her trauma on me. Yeah, go to that guy. Whoever made you feel that way.
me?
Then whoever,
you know
whoever
what,
he is.
though? Do you know what, though?
I'm not saving of all men.
No, not to look at him. Look, he's upset now. Look.
Jules, back me up.
No. Imagine you
'Cause
got trolled by the guest.
Bring your trauma on me for? Jeez.
I got no trauma, you know. And let me tell you why I got no trauma.
All right, go
But
on.
there's not a single man out there who I would think. Actually, let me not tell a lie.
Yeah, I was gonna
there
catch
is-
you there. I was
no,
waiting
that's
for
what I
that.
say, let me not tell a lie because I can't say that somebody's like. I've never been like really done dirty like that. You know when people say that. But I do believe in. It's gonna sound all heighty flighty, but in the universe, like, so if I'm not with that person now, it just simply wasn't meant to be. So I can't sit there and be like, oh, you slept on me. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
For what reason? The reason you dropped me or left me or went or whatever is because you clearly weren't ready for me. That means you're not ready for me. That means you're
Yeah,
not for me.
that's a good way to look
So
at
do
it.
you get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's what I think, and that's just a message to any women out there. If you have ever been like, and man, if you've ever been cheated on or let go or whatever, first of all, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
second of all, don't base your worth on that. That person was not meant for you.
Absolutely.
People are here for a reason and a season.
Yes.
Let them pass sometime.
I feel like this is gonna be like an episode of Loose Women, to be honest, because the way you two are just on this.
Are you loose?
Women, loose women, not loose men.
Relax.
Yeah. Can we get back to the music, please? This is like a character assassination. Anyway, sorry guys for that. If anyone's here for the music,
Sweating? He's sweating
I'm
now.
just getting trolled. It's a lot.
No.
Right.
Oh.
No, 2 on 1.
Before you switched the camera on, you said I'm gonna troll you.
Exactly. That's why it was so funny.
Listen.
You said you're gonna troll
Because
me.
I'm trying to keep on point. That's why this is my work thing. If it wasn't a work thing, after this we'll troll 1-on-1 like the old days. We'll see. But anyway, back to what I was saying.
I feel attacked by that statement.
So we've understood that you go on frequencies, yeah.
Yes.
So was music always in you? Was it always your passion, or how did we arrive here? How did we arrive to who you are now? We go back in time when you were a little you.
Music has always been a part of my family, my life. My parents are very into music.
Okay,
My
okay.
dad had a room in my house, like a dining room, just dedicated to music. We
Oh,
never
right.
had- Yeah,
Bloody
so
hell.
we had, he collects like antique weapons. So we had like all the
Oh.
walls, every single wall covered in like antique muskets or African
Wow.
spears or shields or tribal
You are
weapons.
bougie. I can see where the bougie
Honestly,
comes from.
that's what I want.
Yeah. Okay.
He's collected them since he was a child, and then wall to wall sound system. Now, obviously, I'm Jamaican, so you know wall to wall sound system, like
Yes.
top to bottom, massive speakers,
Wow.
subwoofers, and that room was literally just music. I was never told to turn down my music. I was never told to stop playing. I could play my music. You know when you start playing a track 10 times over. That's it. I would never get told to stop.
Oh, right, that's nice.
And then we
Lucky.
had a sofa, right? We had a sofa like this. Then every black household had one. You know the it's like a bamboo chairs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know the one.
Yeah.
So we had that next to it, and I used to right next to the speaker, and I used to just fall asleep.
Oh, yeah?
while my dad played music next. Yeah,
Wow.
the vibration right next to the speaker.
It's in your blood.
Probably deaf by now.
So, just out of curiosity, where does one purchase a musket? Just
Where does one purchase a musket?
yeah, just out of curiosity.
I'm not affiliated with such things, so I'm not too sure. No, my dad, he's collected them since he was a child from antiques markets. Remember when you used to have markets?
Yeah,
we actually
yeah,
used to
yeah,
have
yeah.
markets.
Yeah.
So he used to collect them from
crazy,
there,
man.
and he drove up and down the country, truck driver.
Looking at him. Oh, so that's his hobby, his passion, is it?
So yeah. So it's ever since he was a child. So I only just recently found this out. He found an axe in Jamaica when he was younger. And he took it home, and my grandmother said the only way you can keep it is if you put it on the wall.
Oh,
And to
okay.
this
Well,
day, he still has
okay.
that
How
axe.
things happen like that.
Yeah, and that's
Interesting.
and since then, ever since I was a little girl, I'd go around to markets with him, and now we have our house in Jamaica. Is when I say covered, I mean the walls are covered in knives,
Oh,
African
man.
spears, actual World War II muskets with the pins removed. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, I
they're
grew
really
up in a
nice.
cool house. I like to
Yeah,
shoot
that's
and
cool,
stuff in
man.
the garden.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I remember one time my parents had during the Biafran War, my dad had like a bow and arrow, and he had it wasn't a cutlass, it's kind of like a dagger.
Wow.
So I don't know where it is now. And we used to go and he used to hide it, but we used to go and play with it when he wasn't around. Yeah.
Of course.
One time I took it to school, but that's another story. That's another story.
Yeah. Wow. Look at this.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, back to you. Anyway, so okay, so you were kind of involved in music, kind of. But were you writing, singing at the time, or you just enjoyed music itself?
So as a child, I'd say up until about 11, maybe 12. I'm trying to think when I wrote my first actual song. Maybe I was like, maybe 14 or something like this.
Okay.
But up until like, from I say about the age of like 9 upwards, I started writing poetry.
Oh.
So I started out writing poetry.
Interesting.
I need to dig out some of those things, but I started writing, and I realized that when I'd read back the words and stuff like this, I'd realized that people of my peer group and age, like, first of all, didn't even understand some of the words I was using.
Oh wow.
Second of all, like, I don't know where even the concepts of things. I think because as well, surrounding certain things within my childhood, I think maybe, you know, like a lot of us children in London as well, with parents who are from overseas, they have to grow up quite fast.
Yeah.
So I think,
Quick time.
yeah, so there's no, do you know what I mean? Some kids your age didn't know how to use a washing machine. What are you on about? Do you know what I mean? Things like this. I had to grow up fast, and I had an understanding of the world maybe a bit better. I would then be using words. I remember in a poem I wrote, I was 9, and I used the word fictitious, and nobody even knew, right, where are you getting that from? Like, do you know what I mean? Even as, you know, do you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really something that you, so I started off writing poetry. Then I started realizing that, oh, I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah.
And then I started hearing songs in things that I'd watched. So I remember watching the Rugrats and
classic cartoon that, by the
right,
way.
and the Wild Thornberrys. And there was a song in the Wild Thornberrys, again, as a child, I heard it, and it was something about something blowing in the wind. It was a very descriptive song. It was very, you know, it was over one of those like passionate moments in the Wild Thornberrys. And I just remember feeling like this was a very powerful song for me.
Wow.
And I don't know why. And I sat down and I wrote out all of the lyrics. You know, you used to pause the TV.
Them days,
Right, and I wrote out all the lyrics on paper, pen and paper, and I remember sitting down and singing through it and singing through it and singing through it. Yeah, it was something about how like the steam, it was like something about the steam from a kettle turns into like the vapor and goes into the wind. It was just so.
But you felt it.
I felt it. I didn't understand. What, do you know what I mean?
Whoa.
But I was like, for some reason that is so deep. I'm literally getting goosebumps thinking about it. I was like, for some reason that is so deep to me. And it made me want to write something that beautiful, that resonated with people.
Wow.
And that's when I started writing. Yeah.
So obviously, so you found that you had a passion and a skill for writing, i.e. the poetry, and then you watched Rugrats and started singing little songs and what have you. Yeah. But at what point did there come a point when you knew or you felt, actually, I'm good at singing as well? Or was it someone who kind of told you, validated it, that you could sing?
I think it was, I used to go and do things like, as I said, writing down songs and whatever. And then I'd start singing here and there. And, you know, it wasn't that great, but I still, you know, I wasn't that confident. I'd be singing. And I just have a very, very vivid memory of, remember 702?
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
Yes, 702.
You'll just never know, put it off till tomorrow.
What, the group 702?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
the Black Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember that, and I remember that song that I just sang, that You'll Just Never Know. I remember walking home from school, standing at a lamppost, and because I used to be singing over and over again, I never forget where I was. I remember the road, everything. Standing at the lamppost, and I sang that chorus, and that was the first time I said to myself, you can sing.
Wow,
You can actually sing. Damn. And I was like, wow, okay. This is, you know what I mean? Because in my head, I've been practicing and practicing. I said, okay, and I've been practicing. And then I was walking home, to and from the walk of school, I used to sing to myself. And I stopped at that pole, and that's the moment when I thought, yeah, you can sing.
Yeah.
And then I started joining school choirs, and then I started doing
to be honest, that's a really moving story. But I think the real validation point was the choir part, because I had a cousin who told me she could sing. Yeah. And she told herself she could sing.
Yeah.
But
then she went to the choir. And then...
Yeah, but when she went to the choir...
Yeah, choir will shut you down. Choir will shut you down.
So let's just cut that apart and say, when you went to the choir, you found out you could sing.
You went to the choir?
Conversation.
Yeah, went to the choir.
So after that then, was it... Because there's still a long way from being able to sing in a choir for fun, and then actually, you know, taking it further to how far you've taken it now.
Yeah.
So when did that happen? That the point where you decided, I'm going to do this kind of for real?
When I came back to England, so I went to Jamaica when I was 15.
Oh, right.
My parents, I'd left school.
Okay.
I'm one of the youngest to leave the school, so I left early.
Yeah.
So I left at 15. My parents said, depending on your grades and stuff, you can either come to Jamaica with us, or you have to stay here and do schooling. So I left school.
It's a pretty easy choice then, really.
Right. Well, depending on the grades.
Yeah.
I come out. Turns out I was smarter than I thought. I got offered an unconditional place. I remember in sixth form.
What?
And my parents said, all right, you can either do that or take a year out. I said, hello. I'm already at the airport. Yeah. So I decided to move with my parents to Jamaica. They packed up. They said, we're gone.
Yeah.
And then went over to Jamaica for a year, bought a house with my parents, stayed over there for a year.
Nice.
And whatnot.
What was that experience like? So prior to... So you were born here, yeah?
Yeah, born here.
So most of your life you spent in England, London.
Yeah.
So what was that like? I know when we go home.
Were you travelling back to Jamaica on holidays or anything?
Yeah, so like, it was like.
Yeah, but holiday and living is not the same thing.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it's not like it was foreign to her. In
Yeah,
terms
no,
of,
not
like,
completely.
It wasn't brand,
No.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
brand new to you.
No. Like
But-
I'd gone there. I know my grandparents' house.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I know where my parents. Yeah.
But what was it like? So when you went to actually live there, because when I go to Nigeria, I'm going for 2 weeks, 3 weeks max.
Yeah.
That's nowhere near like living there. So what was the
Yeah.
experience when you moved for like a whole year to live there?
I'll be honest. I think that's when I realised I'm a nomad. Like no place is my home.
Right.
I went to it like a duck to water. I ran a business there. My
Oh,
family got
what?
business. I felt no way to go out, and I was going into the town. I wasn't just a holiday, so I was going into the town to pay electric bill, light bill,
Oh,
go
damn.
shopping. You get what I'm saying to you?
Yeah,
Getting
yeah,
taxi and whatnot, one-stop driver and all them
Yeah.
things there. You know what I mean? And I kind of took to it like a duck to water. I realised I'm not frightened. It's only looking back when I realised like, oh, you's like a little. I'm an English girl. I'm a London girl. I'm an English child.
Yeah.
You know. And yeah, I just kind of took to it.
Oh,
I don't know. I just and
nice.
maybe because my family's out there, it's not like I had loads and loads of family. We didn't live like very very close to them, but I had some cousins and stuff. But in order of like doing things myself, I had to just kind of again grow up quick, got thrown into it. Yeah, I really took to it. There was no point where I thought, oh, I'm scared to do this or, you know, concerned about going here or my own or whatever. I'm like, no, Mum, I'm going to go into the town. Let me go into Mandeville, go get my taxi.
Wow.
I knew where to go change my money, go pay. As I said, pay bills, go to the bank, do whatever. Mr. Balani, the jewelers.
You're adaptable, very adaptable.
Yeah, and I had my cousin Vanessa. Shout out to you. She was my rock.
Well, at least you have somebody. That's good.
Yeah.
So you're out there in Jamaica, living the good life, and then you have to come back, right? Eventually.
Yeah. So eventually came back. After the year, my parents stayed out there. I decided to come back. And that's when I started like my journey in my life on my own, 16 years old.
Yeah.
Got my own flat, started living on my own. And then I said, what am I going to do? Because I can't just come back and sit down. So what is my plan?
Yeah.
I then went to performing arts. I said, I want to do something, acting, singing, dancing, drama. I loved it. So I signed up to go to performing arts, Langley University, Langley College, Slough. And then I did my performing arts diploma. Came out of that's where I fell in love with India Irie, who's one of my biggest inspirations.
We're gonna talk about it later.
In the world, yes.
Yeah.
And then I came out of performing arts, went to the Institute of Contemporary Music Performance, went to audition there, but this is like a private music school kind of thing. Went to audition there, and I was like 16 years old, living on EMA. Do you know what I mean? At 17 at this time, I think 17 or 18 at this time now. How am I going to afford this? Thank God, got in on a scholarship.
Yeah. What?
I was like, wow, like got in on this scholarship. I was like, what? I can't even believe that I'm getting, this is crazy. My vocal ability was nowhere near.
Well, it must have been something special. For you to
anything,
get.
right.
Yeah.
But it must have been something. Got into that, did that for a year, which really kind of started solidifying me as being an artist. I was practicing and doing things with live bands weekly.
Oh, wow.
Workshops. I went there with people like Loic Essin. Different people.
Big.
Yeah, there's a few people that went there. I was getting taught by like teachers who were like coming from like Salt and Pepper, Soul to Soul, different people.
Yeah.
You know how. So it was amazing experience to actually have vocal lessons, and that's the first time I was like, okay,
You were blessed. You were blessed.
yeah, very 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 much so.
But was it like because it sounded all really rosy. Was it like a real smooth transition, like almost like a dream from? So you did all that. You had all these wonderful teachers. You had these wonderful experiences, and you moved straight in a linear way towards music, or were there some kind of like bumps along the way?
No, nothing. Listen, you tell God your plan, He will laugh. So I said, yeah, it's gonna come out. You know, everything's gonna be great. That's not it at all. Again, I was a 17, 18-year-old girl living in London on my own. No parents, no nothing. So when I left college, it's one of the saddest things to this day is like I learned to read music in that school, read and write. That's a skill I've since lost because I came out of college and life sinks in.
Yeah,
it's nice to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But as I was going to college, I would wake up in the morning, I would go to Heathrow Airport, clean the planes for 4 o'clock, leave Heathrow Airport, go to college, come home from Heathrow Airport. Do you know what I'm saying? Getting my bus that comes once every half an hour in the middle of God knows wherever they put me.
That's
in this flat, living around. You know, half the side of the flat was full of drug addicts, and half the side, you know, I would walk out and it was like a movie. I'd walk out and see, like, God forbid, like, you know, paraphernalia on the floor.
Vagrants and stuff.
Vagrants and all this stuff. But, you know, which are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet, really. They just got a demon on their back. I'll tell you that. Living around them, you'll know that.
Yeah.
You know, some of those people saved me when I had nothing. Do you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
wow. Damn, man.
So yeah, but it was, so I went from that kind of, which was difficult, to obviously going into the world.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just focus on music anymore. I had to, I had to get a job.
Yeah.
You have to get a job.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
living, and you got your flat. It's
Yeah.
not a hostel where someone's downstairs
Exactly.
knocking on your door. And
Yeah.
you
No,
know,
you got to pay rent. You got to pay bills.
yeah, I've got bills to pay. I've got things I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I have to work hard, and that's what I had to do. So yeah, I came out of that, and then I always tried to, but no matter what, I always tried to stay on the path of music. So I would do, I've done over 500 shows in my life.
Flip it out.
Over 500. I've done shows to countless. Like if you see me on the stage, you will understand that I'm seasoned on the stage, and I'm seasoned for a reason. Because I've done the grotty little pubs, I've done the open mic nights, I've done I've done, you know, it's only in the past like 3 years I've started to get paid to perform out places, you know, 4 years I say for. So I just went and did that over and over again, linking up with people who were coming up in the game. Razor Artist, the rapper, you know, shout out to him, he's still on it. Like loads of different people. I would
damn, man, but that's, I mean, at such a young age to be able to do that, because a lot of people would have went wild, me included, to be honest. When I was that age, I was completely wild. I didn't know what I was doing.
I tell you, my best friend says that to me, like when we talk. She said to me, she's like, you know, you don't realise what you've really been through in this life. Until I can see it on your face, because her face is my face. It's her face when she's looking at me, you know?
Yeah, no,
and she's like, you know, you don't actually, and you don't realise until you say your story. And even now, obviously, it's not even the full story. So it's like, you don't realise what you have actually been through until people reflect it back on you.
Yeah.
Because she looked at me just like you was looking at me just then. She says, you know, you really actually don't realise the amount of stuff that you've been through.
Yeah, that's
where
a
you
lot.
could be.
Especially at that age as well.
Definitely.
To stay on point, even though you had to deal with life as well. But it's still, because most people, you know, we meet them all the time when we're doing podcasts, we're doing live shows, people who had a dream in music and then life got in the way, and then you meet them 10 years down the line and you're like, oh, you can see what happened to your music. Oh yeah, like life got in the way, and then they just don't pursue it anymore. Yeah. But you, no matter what, you get like a curvy road, but you kept going. Yeah.
I'll
give you a little clap for that one.
Thank you, thank you. Clap for myself. I like to thank me for being me. It's okay.
Just kind of ruined the moment.
Yeah, look at you. Stop it.
Ruined it a bit.
Look, ruined it for the clap.
Yeah.
Don't hate.
Bit much. But anyway, go on.
This is a bit much. I'd like to think that, reflecting on it, music is the reason why I survived.
Oh, bloody hell.
I'll be real with you.
This is getting spiritual right now,
No, I'll be very real with you. And the reason is because, for me, I think music saved me because I had something to do. So when I came out, when I tell you that I lived in, the flat was just, it was not nice. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a nice place. Yeah. And I would come from home, from, you know, uni or college, and come back there, and, you know, if it wasn't for me getting up and going to Ealing to go and perform in that, you know, the bar that's now closed and changed owners 4 times, or if it wasn't for me, when I tell you, I used to get on the train and go to the end of the map. So there's a place called King's something another at the end of the map.
Kingsbury, is it?
No, something else. When I say it is the last stop on them, if you look at the underground map, it is quite literally the last stop. Now, I live near Heathrow Airport.
Oof.
Remember, and I've lived near Ruislip and all those. So I used to get up and I used to go there with somebody called Ayo and Shani Music. Big up to them. They're still in the game as well, doing fantastic. Yeah, shout out to them. And I used to get up and travel and get the 427 bus home. You know, the one that goes all the way along.
It's like a tour bus throughout London, is it?
Yeah, it's no tour bus. It's the one that goes along the. Look at you. See, look at the trolling. It's the one that goes along Central London. You know, the night bus that used to go from all the way down Central London, so it goes all through really the lie, you know. Liar. And then I used to get that bus and go to the end of the map. I'll never forget, and go to studios in people's houses and studios in proper studios where I'd meet people who, you know, are working with people who are doing dance stuff. And one time I came out, that's when I kind of got into meeting more people. So I met somebody called Adrian, and then he introduced me to people who, like, around the Crazy Cousins and work with the Crazy Cousins.
Right.
And that's when I started. And then I did a show alongside like Doneo, and do you know what I mean? Different things like this.
Bits and bobs.
Yeah, it was little things like that, but a lot was coming, and I wasn't really ready for it. So I had somebody who wanted to manage me.
Yeah.
And then
that's what's a risk, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. They wanted to manage me, and then I had a opportunity to perform with somebody. Yeah. And because they couldn't go, they didn't give me that opportunity, and I only found out later. And yeah, it was somebody. It will come to me. But it was somebody.
That's
It was
dirty.
like, yeah. When I say it was, yeah. When I say it, and I found things like I used to find things on a computer where he's like done a folder with like different expenses that haven't even happened yet. I'm like, what
What?
is this expense for?
Fraudulent behaviour.
2 dresses. Hey.
Ciao, Charlie.
Wow.
And
Nah,
then
the way people
yeah,
take
some people are
advantage.
but it was like it made me feel good. At that time I was like, I'm doing all these things. I'm going to studios where I'm bumping into like, you know, Shola Amra in the hallway and random things like this, and
And this guy's just...
you know, all this stuff. And then I never forget, I had that thing. They wanted me to go and perform. It was in Wandsworth Palais. I did a show there, and then they wanted me to perform alongside somebody else. And because that person couldn't go, he didn't give me the opportunity.
But that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
From
and I
a
found out
management
afterwards.
perspective, that's... What, how does...
Yeah, but it's because at the end of the day,
He's like a hater.
he's obviously trying to make sure that you don't see the money side of things. You
Right,
don't,
and I
to
noticed
know
that.
your worth and to know
Right.
that he's how much he's cheating you.
Exactly, and
Wow.
because my man, I never raised no dumb fool, right?
We're going to put subtitles
Right.
after.
Sorry, yeah, sorry. My mother didn't raise an idiot.
Thank you. Thank you very
Urban
much.
Dictionary for idiot.
Continue. Go.
So because my mom didn't raise no idiot, so I didn't overlook those things. I made sure to look at whatever.
Yeah.
If that's my name on it, I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
respectfully. So and at that time I was like 19, 18, 19. This is
Yeah, you're still
before
young,
before I went
yeah.
through the music college. Yeah, 18, 19. So I was young, and again getting put into this thing where everyone's like, oh, you got to do this song, and you know, crazy. Like I've got a banger that's written and recorded.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's like funky house
Yeah.
banger. You know what I mean? When funky house was
Big,
booming,
oh.
and it's never been released. You know what I
Oh,
mean? And
man.
stuff like that. I've got it. It's still mine. I released it when I want to.
yeah,
No one
yeah.
can chat me. What?
Yeah.
But no, because I want to see you try. Direct, I'll look you dead in the eye and tell you come stop me from releasing my music. I'll look you dead in the eye. So,
Oh, mate, I took myself out.
sorry, I broke the fourth wall. My bad, guys.
Cracking up.
My bad.
Anyway,
But yeah, so
please continue.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So that happened, and then but I got to be around people who I saw that were really passionate about their music, like AO, which you know, I would love him to be tagged in this. You know, like AO, like Shani.
Yeah.
These people I saw going to. That's the first time I'd go to a professional studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing professional.
Oh,
studios.
now I
I'm
can see
seeing
what you mean about music kept you because you were
kept
at
me.
really like tip of the iceberg sort of thing.
tip of the
Yeah.
iceberg.
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
had anything else to like, let me go home. If I'm not writing in my little scrapbooks or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out to go to the studio. Do you know what I mean? And at that time, I started going to, oh my God, something underground. Why is it Chipmunk Studio? That was
right.
in Central for years. It was in Canary something another, or Keys. I can't remember where it was.
Sorry, Keys.
Key something another. Something key. Oh, that's gonna jar me.
Yeah.
But underground something, I can't remember what it was called, but loud London, something like this.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget, it was his studio, and that's when I started working with his engineer. He was
Yeah.
going to that studio at the time.
Yeah.
So I was working, and then I started feeling like, wow, like I'm going to the studio and looking out at
Yeah.
the river and doing like, this can be something. And
Something,
again,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
18,
yeah.
19,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
you know, but at this time, this is other people booking studio. This is not my money. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
This is other
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Then I
yeah.
started realizing that other people are controlling certain things
Yeah.
because they want to control certain money.
Yes.
This is it. This is the
Yes.
game.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I said, all right, what we're not going to do
Yeah.
is do that. We're not going to have
Yeah.
somebody ruin your reason for doing this. Because
Yeah.
if I can't trust you,
Yeah.
then I can't work with you.
So when did you when did you give that geezer the boot?
Very shortly after I found out about that situation, about the opportunity. Funnily enough, he slid into my DM, I think a year ago. And I was like, who's this? You know when you forget somebody's existence.
You've erased them completely.
I said, who? And then I looked and I said, because I only know a few
No
people.
shame though, shameless.
That's what.
No shame, because I'll name check people, but that's not what we're here to do.
Well,
But,
you can do that if you want.
Yeah, his name's Adrian.
Oh, there it is.
So he slid into my DM saying something another. And you know, it's
Gibberish.
been so long that you can't remember exactly how that ended,
Yeah.
but you just know it didn't end right. Then I was like, who is this? And I remembered, I said, wait a minute, I know you're lying.
Yeah.
I know you lying.
Wow.
And then, yeah, he said something another. I said, yeah, I'm great, whatever, but you're still there doing whatever. But it was him. He was family with somebody who was in Crazy Cousins. And
Oh, okay. So he's kind of like a hanger-oner, really. He's not
kind of, and I
yeah.
thought he knew what he was doing, sort of thing. And he had some, he was doing it around and going to a few studios and
Yeah.
sorting out some stuff. So it was progressing and things were
Yeah.
going good, and I felt great. But it just came with that trusting. I'll never forget when I sat in the car and saw that folder about, and it was like, oh, you're not really supposed to be looking at that type of thing. And I was like, yeah, we're not going to do this. So yeah, so that's when I got rid of him.
So did that experience kind of what's the word for it again? Did it make you think twice about getting another manager or people to help you, or did you go alone at that point? Or
at that point, I wasn't even thinking about manager. To be honest with you, it's only sort of recently now when I'm thinking about a manager, but I do everything myself. I wasn't thinking about it at that time because at the time as well, I didn't have a catalogue of songs and things like this. I didn't have shows coming in and getting booked, and that's when I feel like you need a manager. Do you know what I mean? To get you shows and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But when you've got a lot of stuff like that coming in, to get you the right deals, like to get sync agreements, things like I was just starting to touch studio at this time. I was just starting to, it's the first time I'm recording in proper studios my vocal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I came out of that, didn't really go to a studio for a little while. So I went to music college.
Okay.
I was still doing shows,
Yeah.
like I had my little backing track.
Yeah.
Then I started getting, I went to music college, hooked up with some people. There's a guy called Rex.
Yeah.
Again, massive part of my musical journey.
Okay.
Shout out to Rex. He's done a few things. Big up Rex. I think he was the kind of first person outside of my family in my life to be like you're a problem in this music game. Do you know what I mean? Like to really make me feel like he wanted me on all the projects, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we wrote a song called Who Am I to You? I'll never forget that.
I'll
never forget that.
Go like memory lane.
I'm telling you, the things that you're triggering are crazy, because even that, like when I tell you, I used to go from I went to music college. I met him outside. He didn't go to my music college. He was younger than me.
Just bumped into you.
Yeah, he was younger than me. He was walking up the road one day, bumped into me, and I'll never forget, we would sit outside in the Chinese shop and eating and whatever, and we'd be playing guitar, me and a couple of other guys, and just singing. Just vibing outside music college with the band geeks, innit? Do you know what I mean? So we're outside on the road, and just vibing, and he stopped us one day and was like, da-da-da, started chatting. He just lived up the road from the college. He had his little home studio set up.
Oh, nice.
So now
that's fate almost.
There. Yeah. Now we started going there back and forth. At the same time as doing that, I had just come out of, I'd started going to music college in Langley before I went to Dine Road.
Okay.
Got kicked out.
Okay.
Happens sometimes.
It gets like that. I stand on it to this day, 10 toes down. Realistically. And then got kicked out there.
What did you get kicked out for?
There was this girl who would bully me. No, I swear to God. I swear to, I'm not that type of person. I was a prefect. You know these people in school? I was friends with everyone.
Okay.
Apart from this one girl that you beat up. Or...
I didn't even beat up. Hell, listen, you see me.
Hear the story.
Innit? Thank
Before
you.
start jumping.
Because what he's doing is putting that aggression onto me. You see that? You see your trauma? Please don't project that. Thank you. So anyway, as I was saying, sis. Okay, as I was saying. She used to bully me all the, and then she did. That was my first experience that made an effect to my life of, you can cut this out, I don't know, of weaponized women's tears. I said it right. I said it right.
So is that when
Weaponized
you
women's
fake
tears.
cry to get what you want? Is that what...
Yes. That was my first experience of it. It generally
was it
comes.
you did or her
It generally
doing it?
comes from a. It was not me.
Oh, okay.
It's usually the perpetrator.
Yeah, it usually comes from a certain demographic that
Okay,
are
alright.
weaponized. That I can't say usually comes from, because anybody is capable of that.
Yeah.
But that was my first experience of really seeing that play out.
Yeah.
And I stood 10 toes down on that, and I was like, "You're absolutely not going to bully me."
Yeah.
And then play the victim. That is crazy to me.
Masterstroke.
That is crazy to me. So literally, she kept talking to saying things, whatever. Then when people were out of the room, she would say other stuff. So we was in a classroom, and she would like try and provoke me.
So
Stuff like this. But I say I've already been called into the office. She's saying, "Oh, you know, she feels like you're not being nice with her, whatever the situation is." I hadn't been called into the office at this point, but I knew that a teacher had pulled me to the side and been like, she's saying she has an issue. I'm like, what? This girl's acting like she wants to fight me when I see her. Now she's acting like she's scared. It's very confusing for me. So I'd never say anything to her, because that's how they'll get you. That's it. And I remember I was in the classroom, and the teacher walked out, and she was giving me mad attitude from over the classroom. You know when someone's talking to somebody else, but about you when you're in the room?
Yes.
That's what she was doing. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget. It was a sunny day. The glass panel was I stood up. I said, say another thing and we're going to have a problem. And she went and told the teacher that I was way across the other side of the room. I never said anything, but she was talking to the other girl about how she should dash this at me. And that's why I remember saying think it was the chair. She said something about throw a chair.
Oh,
Do it then.
shit.
Yeah, that's
Do
what she
it.
was saying.
Please
She's
do
like,
it.
right, it's a setup
Please.
though.
oh yeah,
Setup.
imagine I just
Please
hit her
do
over
it.
the head with this chair.
can't-
Imagine,
please.
you know, and I can hear them talking.
It's finished. You know it's gone.
No,
yeah? It's a
but
memory.
she's living the moment. no, let her live it. Because this is what happens. Let her live it. She's there.
No, I can't
But yeah,
stand
that's
things
what happened.
like
And I'll
that.
never forget because I was thinking, what? And it shocked me so much because I was like, you've actually accused me of being like, I just simply don't like you. So I won't
Yeah.
talk to you or anything like
Yeah.
that. I'm not a person who is, especially with my background and whatever, I don't do violence. I'm not my mother didn't raise a hood
Yeah.
rat.
Yeah.
I'm not, I will call the police on you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not a
yeah.
violent person.
Yeah, yeah.
If I need to be and protect myself,
Yeah, that's
of
different.
course. But I'm not going
Yes.
to, my parents told me, I grew up, I've got 11 sisters,
yeah.
4 brothers.
Right.
Yes, never put your hands on somebody.
When you
and-
said you were the
know what I'm
youngest,
saying? Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, youngest of 4, youngest of 5.
No,
max.
I'm the youngest. Literally, I've got 11 sisters, 4 brothers, and my parents always raised me one way. Never, unless somebody is actually threatening you, like
Yeah, yeah.
threatening your safety, you don't need to put your hands on anybody.
Right.
Plus,
Do you
you
know
got
what I
11
mean?
sisters
And that is why your
4
mouth,
brothers.
words are a weapon. Do you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't need to do that to you. So I'm not a violent person. I don't like
Wow.
things like this. And that's why it always stick with me because I remember hearing her say she was going to do something like that. And I was like, this is ridiculous. So anyway, shouted at her. They called me and da-da-da. She's feeling intimidated. Okay, cool. I said,
typical.
you know what? Fine.
Yeah.
I can't actually remember if I got kicked out or if I left.
Okay.
I can't actually remember. But I think either way, it was like, if you're kicking me out, I'm not going back. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
if-
yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
a
think it
done
was like one of
deal.
those ones where we were waiting for the decision.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
in that
yeah.
time, I
Yeah.
went to another. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but in that time, I met EMAC.
Ooh.
So if you know EMAC online, if you don't know, get to know.
I will.
He's had a lot of like hits as well that have come out for you
So
know people.
everything's happening for a reason, right? At this point in time.
Yes, exactly. But that's why you have to trust the divine timing.
Interesting.
So at this time, I'd met EMAC. I'll never forget. I'd gone in there. Funnily enough, either way, we would have met because it turns out our families knew each other.
Oh,
So
right.
our aunties
Small
went
world.
to church together.
Oh.
I mean, his mum and my auntie went to church together, and they'll be, oh, I've known him since he was in shorts. You know, them ones, them stories
Yes.
start coming out.
Oh.
But yeah, so I met EMAC, and he again was a massive turning point. He was the first person to, I think, say to me about my music ability, like about you need to keep going. You really can do this. You're good. Who I actually, not that I didn't believe Rex, because yes, but we're both people who are just doing things in our room. Which I get out there. EMAC was like, okay, again, set up his studio in the back garden. We was in there 2-3 o'clock in the morning. It was sleet, snow, everything. And he was putting out music. He's pumping out music. He's putting out music with T.E. Dines. You know, he's putting out music with
This is a crazy story.
different people who I'm around. I grew up with all of those people. Do you know what I mean? Beluga Ice.
When's
He's
your
putting
movie?
out-
When's your movie gonna come out? Because the way your story is like it's like one of those movies. Save the
already
Last
out,
Dance,
darling.
you know that? And I
It's
met
already
this
out. Poetic
guy,
justice.
and I was in his backyard and we were doing music, and then he became Chipmunk, and then
Do you
this
know what I
guy,
mean?
and
No,
he's
but
Kano.
It's actually not a joke.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying, but it's
but
like-
I feel like one day I would love to be able to say that my life has become such a success in my eyes of what I consider a success to actually be to say that, and because that means everybody around me has accomplished what we were all going for. And that's what I mean by music kept me on the path, because it's not just people around me who, oh, let's just go studio for fun.
yeah.
These people are about this.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
people
yeah,
have
yeah,
now
yeah.
been signed.
Yeah,
These people are the first people's, the first ever music video I was in was a guy called Ashley I. You know what I mean? He's still putting out music on the other side of it to this day. And he'll put up a lot about music business side, and he's still trying to pump stuff out. You know, Ashley I, DIY, I'll never forget.
Oh, right.
Shot it in our park where we grew up.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first time I saw myself on a professional camera on a
Oh,
music
yeah.
video.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then the second
touch
time
points
was
in life.
honestly, and
Yeah.
the second time was EMAC. You know what I mean? And we did a song, You and Me, and that was
You were
again
doing
the
bits.
first time where I was like, the second time, like, this is actual, not a proper like video where we're in the ends. These men are actually doing something.
Yeah.
Now, if you go back and look at the artist that I'm telling you about,
Yeah.
you have heard EMAC songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
You just might not just know. You have heard it. These are people who are getting supported by our radio local stations, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like they're getting on Rebecca Jars, and they're getting on BBC Introduced, and they're getting on. And he always told me like, you've got a lot of skill. Like you really can do this thing. Like
It's
you're
helpful
sick.
to have that validation, isn't it?
Yeah.
He said you're
Sometimes.
sick. But the thing is, for me, looking at him, thinking, it's mad that you're even bringing me onto your project. You know, like if I say, you say you're a painter, and I say, can you paint me a portrait of my mother? That's a validation of how good your work is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he's putting me on like his mixtape, that's the first mixtape I was on, you know, and I'm in the video, and I'm like, wow, like these people who I look up to
Yeah.
really believe in me
kind
and
of
they want to
help
take me
bring
along
you
with
along.
it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
and
it's-
it drove me as well
So
because
at
there
this
was a
point-
time I separated.
So, what do you
There was
mean?
there was a time when I kind of like slacked on the music, and seeing people who I was around on that same path
Oh, okay,
with
they kind of dragged you back
starting
up.
to do that.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, nah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
need to do that. Do you know what I mean?
So,
So, yeah.
at this point, because we'll evolve as we go along,
Yeah.
and even like our music tastes
Yeah.
evolve. So I would presume our sounds kind of change.
Yeah.
So at this point, had you started to develop a sound? And if you did develop a sound, is it the same as it is now, or has it evolved?
My sound's definitely evolved. At the time, I was getting used to, getting comfortable with being confident enough to sing in front of the mic. I'd always feel I would never really let it out.
Okay.
Even with EMAC, that's where I started getting very comfortable because we were going studio regularly.
Yeah.
So I started to let the vocals out around other people, around people who listen to singers all the time and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
And I've kind of started finding my sound there because of the type of rap that he writes as well, goes with the type of R&B soul. I call it conscious rap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say I make music for lovers, stoners, and conscious people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and his is like conscious rap.
Okay.
So you can it had space for the R&B hooks and the roundness, and he would write the stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, at the time, and what I would sing, it would resonate, and I would sing it how I wanted
Yeah.
to, with that fullness.
Okay, okay.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Of the soul would be in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is my type of
Yeah,
voice.
yeah.
But at that time as well, it was still difficult because I was still mirroring other people. So
Okay, yeah.
I never started doing covers
Yeah.
until pandemic. I never sang
Oh,
covers.
right.
Really?
Never sang
Wow,
covers.
damn.
Couldn't tell you
Because I
about
was
covers.
actually thinking, I was like, oh, I'm going to ask you, like, what when you were performing, like, what was your ratio with covers and original material?
Never did a cover. When I started performing for
Wow.
probably about 5-6 years, I'd say, probably even, it's literally since COVID
Wow.
that I have ever sang cover songs outside of my home.
So what was your first cover song you sang,
Ooh,
if you can remember?
outside in a
Outside.
show. Oh my God, what was the first one? I think it was, You Don't Know, Baby, when you hold me, kiss me slowly.
Listen, there's going to be a part where you sing. It's not now. Yeah? So stop showing off, all right?
You know when
I
they
hate when
hate
you guys
on
just-
you. You know when they hate on you.
I'm a hater. I
You
can't
hate-
sing.
It's
I
alright
can't
because
rap. I can't even write songs.
Haters make us go further. Your hate
I'm
drives
organised.
me.
No,
Get
that's-
me?
that's
Organized
my-
hatred is crazy.
That's my superpower. What?
Organized hatred is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's best part.
Yeah.
So yeah, I often just sing it to try and get to the chorus so I can remember what
Yeah.
it is.
you weren't
But
No, because even as you were singing it, I was like, yeah, I know the
But
song.
what's the song?
I knew the next line, but I was like, no, but what is the song actually? Wait.
exactly, best part. So that's the first song I ever sung, and I did that in a restaurant.
Oh,
My first ever residency that I booked.
nice.
And I booked the residency, and I won't say which restaurant, but I booked the residency, and I said to them, yeah, I've done residencies before. They had no idea.
Yeah.
I had gone out, bought myself a PA system,
Oh,
bought
yeah.
myself a tablet for the first time, and this is the first time I'd ever stepped into a restaurant to do a
Wow.
2-hour
That's
gig.
ingenuity, that is.
And let me tell you
Yeah.
something right now, because you dress for the job you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk in a room prepared for the job. Yes, I can
Absolutely.
do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to offer you a role in the next Avengers. Can you
Yeah.
ride a horse? You're damn right I can ride a horse.
Then once you get it, you figure it,
I'm
out.
gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure it out. But I little did they know, and I went in there, smashed it. That was my first residency. They kept
Well
having
done.
me come back. My second residency was in a restaurant which was actually owned in conjunction with Soul Train Records. Soul Bar in Ricelet. That was amazing. Like, they've closed down now, unfortunately, but a wicked restaurant. And that's but my first ever cover, I never forget, was on that because I started singing covers in the pandemic when I started streaming.
Oh,
I started
right.
streaming on sites and started clicking
Nice.
and singing.
So I think you've kind of whetted that appetite with those impromptu little sing songs you did earlier, and also you've talked about your, what your genre and your journey. So I think we're getting to the point where we kind of let the people hear it for real,
Yeah.
like your actual, voice. Suddenly,
No, not after you were like, no.
no, you're doing a minute ago.
Some water. Some water.
So
No, I actually do need to get
the track you're gonna sing is called.
The track I'm gonna sing is called Bonnie and Hyde.
Okay, give us a little bit of info. What's it about?
Background.
Yeah.
I love that. Bonnie and Hyde deserves a story. So I'm a bit of a storyteller. So I do tell the stories about how my songs are written, what they're about. Have you heard of the story of Bonnie and Clyde?
Yeah.
Star-crossed lovers.
Yep.
Have you heard of Dr. Jekyll?
Yep.
Yeah,
Because that was the
what I was
two
thinking.
things that I was marrying
Right,
together.
exactly. Fantastic. I've done my job then.
Yeah.
So I dated this man, and
Trauma,
I thought, yeah,
trauma
trauma.
song.
Straight trauma, absolutely. Don't run from your trauma. Heal. Don't go break the
And
next
don't take it out on
person.
people who are doing a podcast.
And don't, because when you do, you lose your hair. So basically, Bonnie, I dated this guy, and I thought it was Bonnie and Clyde. I was like, do you know what? Like, he's one of the people who's like, I made him like talk to my mom and stuff. You know what I mean? You're thinking, wow, like,
he's
okay.
He's in good.
Not even I'm making him talk to my mom. You're picking up the phone and saying, let me say hey to your mom. Do you know what I mean? All this stuff, that's what they do. Did you get the eye roll? Good. And then it turned out that wasn't the case. He turned out to be somebody completely different from what he portrayed.
Yeah.
Completely different. Not even just a little bit.
Well, like a narcissist type person.
Not like. That is when, in my adult life, I realised what a narcissist is.
Wow.
Yes.
That is when because people throw that word around very loosely.
Yes.
That is something when I actually researched and went to notice the touch points and the key points and actually noticed you're actually a narcissist.
Yeah.
I'm in a situation with a narcissist.
It's mad when you look at a narcissist sometimes, and then the person that you think is a narcissist ticks off every single thing.
Every single thing.
Crazy.
And sometimes people think it's narcissism, but it's not. We like to throw this word around in public. But there are actual traits of narcissism. You know what I'm saying? So I realised that completely, like, Jekyll and Hyde. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm still Bonnie.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You're not going to change my
You're
heart.
far in now at this point.
Yeah, no, but not just for him. I'm Bonnie on my own. I'm separate. I will always be a Bonnie.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? I will always be a ride or die female if I love you like that and if you love me like that.
Okay.
So that will always be me. So I said, I'm not going to change it. So I said Bonnie and Hyde. And that's when Bonnie and Hyde was created.
That's dope, man.
I love that.
I'm feeling that story, you know?
I think it's because, you know, I said sometimes in intuition, it's like I was like a runner on a starting block.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they shoot the gun.
Yeah.
But it's like my gun just didn't go off. So then that's how I came to getting the hook of the song.
Oh man, I'm fully invested in this song.
Me too.
Bastard. That was.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Men, eh?
Ooh, yeah. One shot fired, one shot fired. I just needed one shot fired. Something loud enough to take away desire. Needed to be higher so I could hear it through your fire. Hear it through your fire. And I was burning in desires. Burning in desires, yeah. I can count you down the ways I was done. Count you down the days I was done. But I stayed, didn't run. I was fooled by the chemistry. Silly me. And now I gotta realign my energy. And whoever thought I'd be slave to the fire, yeah. Why'd you have to go and take the trigger from my gun? Seen a lot of rocky roads and I know this one I should run in. Why'd you go? Why'd you go? Take the trigger from my gun. Now I don't know when to run. Yeah. I should've known when to run. Yeah. Many faces, you have many faces. Yeah. Depiction of greatness. Oh, what a statement. How many pennies been wasted? Wishing on your fountain of dreams that you hoped I would bathe in. Ooh, every time that I looked around, I saw the signs. And now I'm jaywalking through the streets of your mind. And the city's aligned with broken things. Oh, and now I realize you're a broken king. You're a broken king. Why'd you have to go and take the trigger from my gun? Yes, seen a lot of rocky roads and I know this one I should. Why'd you go? Why'd you go? Take the trigger from my gun. Now I don't know when to run. I should've known when to run. One shot fired, one shot fired. I just needed one shot fired, yeah. Ooh. One shot fired, one shot fired. I just needed one shot fired, yeah. Ooh.
By the way, amazing. Also, I was trying not to cough through your whole performance. I was dying. I was tearing up. Wow.
Thank you. You could have just acted like you was crying to
Oh,
the song.
no, yeah, it was partly the emotion of the song as well, and the story behind it. Also, I was literally dying. Look, I didn't want to ruin your performance. Like, don't cough, don't cough, don't cough. Seriously.
You okay?
That was emotional. Anyway, yeah, no, that was great,
That
man.
was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh,
That is very. Thank you so
Like,
much.
really, you just-
Weird.
oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
So-
Thank you.
Is that out where people can hear
It's
it?
not out yet.
Oh.
I'm working on it. I know.
Ooh.
I have recorded it, and I'm getting. EMAC told me I've got demo-itis. It's not my fault. I'm fixing it.
Okay.
I've recorded it. I don't like it. I'm gonna re-record.
Okay.
There's something that's not gelling with
Okay.
how I need it to
Okay.
come out.
Yeah,
This is one of my most precious songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
If something's not gelling with how I
Nice,
need
nice.
it
Yeah,
to
yeah,
sound. I've performed it so many times.
Yeah.
A lot of my supporters are waiting for it to come out.
Yeah, yeah.
They've seen me perform it at So
We
Far
are
Sounds.
also now waiting.
Yeah,
Thank
wait,
you.
wait.
Honestly, it's been recorded. The version of it, I'm and ahhing.
Okay.
So I've left it. I'm
Okay.
not listening to it. I'm
Okay.
gonna come back to
When
it.
it
I'll
comes
probably do
out.
that tonight when
Yeah.
I go home. Re-listen
Yeah.
now that I'm out of my head and see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if anything, I can re-release.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
re-recording it with
exactly.
my band anyway.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I mean, we've had all the serious stuff. I think it's time for little, fun times. Yeah.
right.
And that's what you're calling it.
I call it fun times.
Wow. This
So
is.
we got-
Please, no, he's leading you.
We got two segments. Yeah. We've got a head to heads and we've got a social dilemma. What
Okay.
are you laughing for, Jules?
I just want to give a shout out to as well.
Go
Sorry.
on, shout whoever.
After my Mobo Unsung performance, where I got through to top 10.
Well done. Woo!
Thank you. I'm now class of Unsung Mobo 2025.
Yay!
Very, very proud. Right. Such an honor to stand on that stage. But I would just like to thank Siobhan Élouise and the Neon Souls, who are
Yeah.
my band, who I've just formed with my band members. So we're growing by the day, which is amazing. But we've got our people, and we are now officially a band.
Oh, perfect. Won't be long before you get the Mobos.
Right?
Uh-huh.
All right. Anyway, so okay, look. So we've got head to head. It's a
Yeah.
basic. It's like a death match, yeah. So I'm gonna pick two artists that you supposedly love really a lot. You're gonna have to pick which one survives.
Oh.
Yes, that's why I said he was misleading you.
Fun times. So
He hasn't come to be nice.
so the first one is Jasmine Sullivan.
Absolutely. What are you doing, sir?
Oh, you ain't heard the second person.
Okay,
Yeah, you
go
might
on.
not like that person. The second person is it India Irie? So who survives that one? And why?
You know this is blasphemous, right?
This is what he
This
takes
is
joy.
crazy.
He takes pleasure in doing this.
That's
Just
crazy.
do my
sir.
job. So just to confirm, it's Jasmine Sullivan and India Irie. And there's a time limit in it as well, so don't
I
procrastinate.
don't even like this game. I see that
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And
Oh
why as well. Don't just fluff it.
Jesus.
Yeah, one of them will go there. The other one.
Hey, Mike.
Ah.
Mike.
Both of them are going there. Don't do that. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so if I had to remove one, let's say that.
Terminate.
Oh,
yeah.
that is so terrible. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. I would. Wow. I have to say, purely because of my musical journey, I have to save India Irie.
Okay.
I thought that would be the case.
And I have to save India Irie because her album, Voyage to India,
Yeah.
changed my life.
Right.
Yeah. Voyage to India got me through some of the hardest times. Voyage to India made me realize that honestly, I want to be a singer and I can do it. And I want to be I'm a big, beautiful black woman and I can do you know what I mean? In this, and I can be myself. I don't have to
Oh,
sell out
wow.
and do it. Yeah. So India Irie.
So Jazz, you just like
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
even.
Because Jasmine, if you
Don't
ever see
even.
this, I promise you, I want to work with you. Okay, and he's doing this by force.
You've seen this.
That is the only reason why is because
Okay.
of where they come in the musical journey.
okay. So
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
There's
makes
no
sense, yeah.
other reason.
okay. All right. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch you outside because after this one, because I don't.
Sound like you're not reformed from your school days.
Wow! Wow!
Do
You
you
said you was
see?
gonna cut that out. You see that?
The other
You're lucky
one-
my shoes are so nice and I don't
Just get
stand
that
on
in,
them
innit?
today.
Right, that one's a bit easier, a bit easier. So sing with,
Yeah.
chill with, tour with. Got 3 people.
Ooh.
Yep. Alicia Keys, John Legend, Tash Sultana.
Ooh, what do you know? You've done some research. How you know I like Tash Sultana? How do you know who Tash Sultana is? come off it.
I do my job, innit?
Oh,
What did I
okay.
tell you about
Because
analytics?
people don't know about Tash Sultana and they really need to. Okay, so ask the question again. It's chill with.
Chill with, sing with, tour with. So you got Tash Sultana, you got John Legend, you got Alicia Keys. Who are you gonna sing with?
I'm gonna sing with Alicia Keys.
Why?
No, let me change that.
Okay.
I'm gonna chill with John Legend.
But you ain't changed
No,
it.
no, no. Sorry, I'm gonna sing with John Legend.
Okay. Why?
Some of the first song that I ever started singing.
Yeah.
When people said, "Are you a singer?" and I said, "Yeah," and then they said, "Sing," and I was petrified.
Yeah.
I made sure that the default song was, "You're just ordinary people.
true.
We don't know which way to go."
Okay. Okay.
That's
okay.
it.
I'll let that one slide. You let that one slide?
Jealousy, because of the
Okay.
jealousy.
Yeah, that's
He
what
doesn't
you're
want me
singing.
singing. Yeah.
Go ahead. Number 2.
The next one was chill with.
Yeah.
When I tour, am I singing with them on the tour?
That's your tour. You do what you want, innit?
Yeah. Okay. Tour with Alicia Keys.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why's
Tour
that?
with, number one, I've seen her in Royal Albert Hall. It was ethereal.
Okay. She's not big words again.
And it was ethereal.
Yeah.
Look at me, Cat Williams. I read 300 books a day. It was ethereal.
Yeah.
Watching her with just one piano and the candle lights and the way she had all of us was just insane. I would tour with her because I feel like I could learn a lot from her vocal ability. Also, if I'm singing alongside her, I'm thinking on the business point, your fans are now my fans.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Thank you.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah. Tash Sultana, I'm chilling with.
Yeah.
Did I say chill with?
Yeah. You're gonna chill with Tash.
Yeah.
But why you just? Is it because by default she's left or because?
Nah, that's a purposeful choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a purposeful choice.
Okay.
Tash Sultana I feel like we could be in a room for like 3 days and not come out and
As
just
in,
create
like,
the
besties.
maddest music
Is it?
and just chill out and like I don't know what we can say on here, but I feel like we would just like hotbox a room, smoke a mad blunt. I don't know if she
Oh, she might. I
she
don't know.
partakes. If you should see her story, it's phenomenal.
Okay.
It really is. So that's what I'm saying. I don't even know if she partakes anymore, but she's
Okay.
it's a phenomenal her story. I think my energy would absorb a lot from her.
Yeah.
She, you know, when you leave someone, you feel like,
Yeah.
raw. Like I feel like magic
Yeah.
actually is real. Like it exists. Like
Okay.
watch her,
That's
and you will
beautiful.
understand what I'm saying about Tash Sultana.
Alright.
Watch her live performance of her in her room with a
Okay,
guitar,
Okay.
and you will see.
That was a fair enough assessment.
Yeah,
I like that.
beautiful.
The next one is also fun as well, but
You know what he means by fun now, so you know.
Yeah, I want to fight him in the parking lot with the slap hands.
I don't get- what happens to calling the police? Anyway, so
Did you not see? You're calling the police. Did you not see? I'm gonna fight you. Look at this.
so something's gonna do
A
social dilemma, aren't you?
dilemma, yes.
Go on then.
Okay. So you've already mentioned you've got like 10 siblings.
11.
11 siblings.
11
She's not good at
sisters, 4
maths.
brothers. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it.
It's 15,
So-
by the way.
Do you get on with all of them?
No.
Okay. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. Now, just make it so you're not the youngest, yeah, in your mind.
Mhm.
Okay. But here's the dilemma, yeah? All right. So,
Boy.
you and one of your sisters, you used to get on, you were good, all of that. You get married. Your sister's chilling over at yours a lot because you two get on. She falls pregnant.
Where are you going? Where are you going with this one?
She gets pregnant. Yeah?
Impregnated.
You know what?
Impregnated.
You know what? All right. Yeah, I met the yard. They come out now, right?
You get belly, as they
You
say.
get belly.
You get belly.
You get belly.
Okay, yeah, you got belly now.
You get
Swell belly.
belly.
Yeah, belly I swell up.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
She comes crying to you one day. I'm really sorry.
Bro, you haven't done the sound
EastEnders,
effects.
actually, no, because EastEnders, I'm loving this. Yeah,
Really
get this
give me
woman
to
an
it.
award expeditiously because that was on cue. I'm not gonna lie, that was some shit. Innit? You saw she does it at home. I know.
To the road.
Yeah, she came with inside.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not my
I've had a
mother.
weekend, so you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
like,
lay out.
Go on, anyway.
Sis, I love you and I'm really sorry, but it's Derek's baby.
Who's there?
Oh.
Your
Your
husband.
husband. Boy.
So hold on, I'm not even finished. I'm not even finished yet. see?
Land the plane, because you know what's this? Land the plane.
You dash Derek.
Yeah.
You dash your sister.
Yeah.
Okay. She has the baby.
Yeah.
Right. Now she got problems because Derek ain't helping out.
Yeah.
No one's helping out.
Yeah.
Right. Your parents are back over in Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Your sister's crying to them on the phone, right?
Right.
They call you up, right? And they say, listen,
Coronation Street.
Siobhan,
Corey.
our Kerry, she's struggling.
Yeah.
she needs help.
Yeah.
You got to let her stay with you.
Well, first of all, I tell you something for fucking 3 minutes. Yeah. She can take a long fucking run off a short fucking cliff, mate. No, let me tell you something. First of all, my family would never call me. I'm the last one that they're calling to tell some mess like that. Number 2, and she needs help. So what you're asking me, what would I do in that situation?
Yeah.
You better go find help at the same place you go take wood. You better go find your baby father down there, so in the dirt.
So wait, are you still? So you're divorcing husband? Yeah, just to be
I'm
clear.
Yes.
Let me be clear. I'm divorcing him.
Yeah.
I'm taking everything he has.
Okay.
I'll leave you with half, and by half I mean I'm getting petty with it.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
taking your left shoelace.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And I'm leaving you with the right. My sister is disowned. You can go and
Okay.
the same place that you was taking
Yeah. You can go
the
there.
thing is the same place that you can go and ask for your baby. That's a silly question. I don't even know what kind of stupid question. Next question.
Well, I mean, some people would even take the more,
Well, adult approach.
not honestly adult.
You know, in the Bible they
Would
said
you?
turn the other
So
cheek.
it's not about me.
No,
No,
in fact,
no,
let's
no,
be
No,
no,
let's ask you.
no.
No, you know in the Bible they
Yes.
said turn the other cheek.
Which
Yeah.
turn cheek am I
Like
turning?
they said, turn the other cheek in the Bible, right? You must turn the other cheek, so you must look the other
yes.
way.
I don't turn
But the
cheeks.
thing is, right? So I'm not Jesus. Now God, I love him. He died for my sins.
Yeah.
I wasn't the one who needs to turn the other cheek. So what I'm saying is, if the universe said that your path was to lie down with my husband
Yeah.
after I took you into my home,
Right.
funny story, that's actually happened before. After I took you to my home, and do that, then you can go and find Derek.
Right.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I've changed my number. You can't even contact me.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
You can't even contact me.
No, now I
No.
want to flip it on you.
Yeah, let's flip it on you. So what happens?
So obviously, not your actual wife,
Right.
yeah?
Yeah.
But say you've married somebody now
Yeah.
whose frequency you didn't
But
check.
you already know my answer. I'm scorched earth. You know what I'm
You
going
are.
to do.
You're burning down the whole world.
You know
he's
what I'm
he's
doing.
doing. Do you know what he's
Yeah.
doing? And let me tell you what I'm doing to my husband's stuff. Angela Bassett. That's all I'm gonna say. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I'm going to exhale all over that house. Do
There'll be
you get what I'm
nobody
saying?
Right.
I'm going to exhale
Right.
every. Yeah, Angela Bassett. I'm setting that
bless
on a blaze.
Right.
It's gonna be so beautiful. If you, I'm write down my affirmations and throw it into the fire along with
Right.
it too.
Good man.
Yeah.
If that was me and my mum called me to tell me I had to help my
She
sister,
can't call me again.
That's what I was literally about to
Can one
say.
of us actually pretend that we're actually a good person?
No.
I'm joking.
But why are we pretending? I'm a good
Don't
person.
mind him.
Was they
I'm
worried
joking.
about me when they was lying down in my good 100
This
Fred
is my
count sheets?
thing. This is
Because
my
you know I
thing.
keep good sheets. So was you worrying about me?
Okay. all right,
Okay.
I
And then
think
you got a belly now in the house and no one's told me.
I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Let me be in the
See,
same
that was
page.
fun, wasn't it?
It
we
was fun.
had a common ground of vengeance and all that sort of stuff.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that's great. It's great. Showed a real character here. All right, so I guess we're coming to the end
Yes.
right about now. Had a good time.
Yeah.
You
Learned
learned
about
about
your
the
trauma
murder.
and all that sort of stuff.
Oh no, we didn't. Please.
Wait,
Oh,
I was
sorry.
getting there. Jeez.
You're taking your time. Taking a minute
Anyway,
or two.
normally we talk
She needs a
about.
roll and a
Normally at the end of the thing, we talk about what people have, projects people have and what they've done, which is where we're going to talk about the Mobos. If you'd let me finish. So, give us a description of your wonderful journey recently when you were at the Mobos Unsung. How did that happen? Give us.
So I actually started by doing a show called it was Levels and Unsung, Levels verse or X Unsung.
Okay.
Yeah.
Levels with
Is it like X
Unsung.
Factor kind of, but for Mobos?
No. So
Oh.
it was there's like a open mic.
Oh,
Not
right.
kind of open mic, but it's a show. So they
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
people up. They've got a
Yeah.
house band and stuff. They're called Levels.
Yeah,
Okay.
So them and Mobo Unsung do an event that are conjoined.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I never know what people, they say level X
Yeah,
Unsung.
yeah,
I never
yeah,
know what it means when they
Yeah.
say X. But yeah, Levels with Unsung. So I did that.
Mm.
And from there, I was seen by somebody called Wisdom, who is
Okay.
the head of artist relations at Mobo Unsung.
Okay.
We then started doing other events. So he'd call me up for certain events, say, Miss Curvaceous,
Yeah.
would you like to do this and
Who's
that?
that?
So I do Miss Curvaceous.
Yeah.
It's like a brand, like a modelling.
Oh, I thought it was calling you Miss Curvaceous. I thought it was being cheeky. Sorry. Big sexist bastard.
He did not
I
call
was
me.
defending you.
I know, he's who's that? What's going on? I love the defense. Thank you
Yeah,
so
sorry,
much.
go on.
Thank you.
Yeah, go on.
But yeah, he did it, which is a fantastic program as well. Giving people with fuller bodies
Yeah.
limelight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So we did that. Did a few different things with him, and then Mobo Unsung came up. Mobo to
Yeah,
apply for it, and a few people sent it to me, and he sent it to me as well.
Okay.
So I had applied for it, and then the thing wouldn't work, the form, and I'd messaged him I didn't even know it was this day, but I said, I've been trying to do this form, it's not working.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm literally submitting them tonight. I'm in the office.
Yeah.
You need to fill this out now.
wow.
I
Pressure.
jumped up. I was like, wow. And God bless him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he submitted it for me. I was like, okay, I've done it. You know what I mean? I've put everything in, put everything I needed to do, submitted it. Then they called me up for an interview. Amazing interview with Savannah. She's part of the team.
Yeah.
Had a lovely interview with her. Then waited to hear if we got through.
Yeah.
Heard that I got through to the top 20.
Nice.
Went through the.
That's a lot of people though. 20. Still a lot of people.
It's still a lot of people down from 400.
Yeah. Whoa, bloody hell.
But that's from 400 from people who have even applied. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So down to 400, down to 20. Then we went for Mobo Unsung in Pizza Express, where we did the thing in front of the Unsung panel.
Yeah.
In front of the judges.
Oof.
I performed Bonnie and Hyde.
Whoa,
Neon
that's why you.
Souls.
Yeah, that's why you did. Yeah.
Yeah, with the Neon Souls. It was electric. Please do go and watch it.
Yeah.
And then went through. So it was crazy because I stream. I went to Singapore.
Yeah.
So I got flown out to go to Singapore.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So I got flown out to go to Singapore to perform in Marina Bay Sands for a massive red carpet gala. It was insane. Honestly, this year has been. I am so blessed. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, please. Because this year, honestly, so that was on the Monday I flew to Singapore. On the Saturday, on the Tuesday I flew to Singapore. So on the Saturday I had Unsung.
Yeah.
Didn't find out Sunday. On the Monday we found out that we got through.
Oh, nice.
Couldn't tell anyone. On the Tuesday I flew to Singapore.
Wow.
So I flew to Singapore, came back from Singapore. 4 days later, went to the Mobo. Right? So I've been living out of a suitcase for the past, literally, since January. So it's a bit mad. So flew to Singapore, came back, and then found out, obviously, that it was through, went to the Mobos.
Yeah.
What an experience.
What is it? Mad.
Wow. What an experience. Like, from meeting the people backstage, being there from before everything happens, to going in and seeing it backstage, the crew, us walking in and the crew being like, oh, you're Mobo Unsung. I'm like, oh, I'm somebody. Do you know what I mean? To most of us Black British people grew up watching the Mobos.
Yeah.
So the first time I've set foot in there, I'm on stage.
Yeah.
It's not making sense. Like,
it's
crazy. I don't think to now it's sunk in.
No, I wouldn't have.
I met people, I'm walking past people and seeing them before. I'm on the train with people having jokes and cracking jokes with them. I come in and she's the one with the thing in her ear going, she's the whole director of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I was just cracking jokes with you. You know what I mean? On the train 2 minutes ago. Seeing people like, loads of different people, you know, people who you watch Love Island.
Mad Beast, something like that.
Yeah, seeing different
In real life,
people. Yeah, seeing those people and being able to actually have that experience was absolutely amazing. My biggest thing was Tidra Moses. Met Tidra Moses, sang with Tidra Moses. I said, there is not a day that's going to pass in this world where I am in the same spot as Tidra Moses having a conversation and my voice and your voice don't go along together. So I'm yet to post it, but I've got me and Tidra Moses singing. Because when I tell you, you know as well as I do, something in your vesture. That is the one. Are you crazy? Look how I'm upset. Zoom in on him upset there.
It's
Angry.
up there.
Angry
Don't
one. The
worry.
angry one.
Don't worry.
Don't worry about it. So I sang with her. No, danced with her to Bodak Yellow. I'm sorry, but I don't know what history book that needs to go in. But me dancing to Bodak Yellow with Tidra Moses at the Mobo Awards needs to go on that.
Fair to say, you're living the dream right now.
I'm honestly, it's been insane since this year. I prayed for and I manifested, and it's like the universe just said, okay, here we go. And it's just been one thing after another, and I'm so blessed. Like, you know, to meet people. Scorcher, met him afterwards and had a, you know, banter with him, and he collected his award. His speech was the most powerful for me.
Yeah.
That hit. He said he's collecting that award for all the artists who don't have managers, who don't have 1,000 million streams, who don't have million unsigned people.
Yeah, the people, innit?
The people. Growing up watching these guys, growing up watching these people are, you know, my brother watching Lord of the Mics and Lord of the Decks.
Yeah.
Me, these are the people, Scorcher and different, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm rubbing shoulders with
right?
them. I'm in the VIP section. Like, what? And then they called us on stage. Like, I don't want to get emotional, but honestly, it's such a moment for me to be like, stood up there as being chosen by Mobos as one to watch for the future of our
validation for all you've done before.
That's why at the end of that post I said, this is for the culture.
Yeah.
This is really for the culture. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience.
Try not to cry.
We love it.
I'm all right. It's a beautiful experience, but and with all of the team and the other people I'm on this journey with are an amazing bunch of people. I get on very well with them.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't ask for a better bunch of people, and I'm learning something from each and every one of them.
Thing, really, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, and wisdom, he's named correctly. That is the correct name to give him, because when I'm on the edge, about to jump off, he just has a way of
calls you back in. Yeah,
it's crazy. Like all this stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I should post this. Now I've kind of been thrown into the limelight. Then I'm scared. I don't want to post this. Is there this there? There's a little roll there. He's just like, let's not even.
Yeah, don't think about it.
Let's cut all of that out. Because if you don't understand that you stood on the Mobo stage, I don't know what you're worrying about.
No, that's it. We just get a t-shirt printed and just
that's
you
it.
doing it. That's it.
I
So,
on the
so you
Mobo.
need-
I get me.
Show it. Nothing
That's
else.
it, and show it, because I need to have more belief in myself. So through this journey, I believe that this program with Mobo as well is going to help me a hell of a lot drastically.
Yeah, yeah.
Because whether or not I'm ready for it, it's happening.
You are ready for it.
I am ready for it.
Look at your journey. Look at those days in Slough. You're ready for it.
Sis.
You're ready.
Hey, them days in Slough, boy.
Because if something like this had come for you in those days, no, you wouldn't have been ready. There was so much outside noise. You're ready.
But that's why I feel like, and even now, going back to the question you asked me earlier, I now think I'm still finding my sound.
Yeah.
But I'm now I'm now not scared to sing a little quirky, to sing a little. You heard some jazz riffs in there, you heard some R&B. I'm not afraid of my voice anymore. I used to sing like the person sings. If I'm singing Alicia Keys' song, I'm singing every riff she does. And if I can't sing the riff she does, I can't sing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'm a bad singer. No, I'm now getting into my own.
You're like constantly in your own skin now.
Finding myself in my own artist, and I love having a live band because it just lets me be so free.
Excellent.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could sing, to be honest.
So you have other strengths, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know I do. Don't worry about that, love. All right, on that note.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been Mike. You've been.
I've been a sub.
And we've had.
Siobhan Élouise.
Wrap.